Someone did ask us the question of when would we know that we've achieved our goals? Is there such a thing as full sustainability? And our answer to that is honestly, our channel has had a lot of new subscribers, and so if you're new or if you've been watching us for a little while now, welcome. We're really happy to have you along. You may have noticed that our channel has a good mix of gardening videos, homesteading, as well as just our own personal life. At the beginning, I started this channel to make sure that my family and my friends could see what we were up to while we moved up away from them. But now I figured out that the real reason that we have our channel is I really want to be sharing our journey towards sustainability and explaining that sustainability shouldn't just be buying eco-friendly products or going plastic free or growing your own vegetables and gardening. It really is so much more than just that. Sustainability is whatever works for you, whatever is sustainable for you, and that's not the same for all of us. Some of us might have access to space where we can garden and grow vegetables in the ground. Some of us live in apartments and it's not sustainable to go down to a community garden or to grow vegetables on your balcony. That's just not sustainable for some of us. Sustainability can also be in your finances. So using your money and budgeting in a way where you can actually afford to buy the things you need, but also sometimes the things that you want. Sustainability in your hobbies, so finding things that you love doing, which line up with your goals and your lifestyle and your location as well. I think there's so much more to sustainability than is often talked about. And it's so much more than just spending money on products. Now, don't get me wrong when I say that. I really am trying to reduce my plastic use, and when I am buying things, I'm trying to buy things that are going to last the distance as opposed to just last a week, a month, or even a year. And I highly encourage you, if you can, try to be more conscious or aware of the choices that you are making. That's the best thing you can do for your own journey towards sustainability. Instead of only buying products which are deemed to be sustainable or eco-friendly, really think about how those products fit into your lifestyle. Every single choice that you choose to make has its own set of consequences. Even glass can be considered unsustainable. So what we're hoping to show you guys with our channel is that we're trying to be sustainable in all aspects of our life. And that can be finding things that we enjoy doing to sustain this life that we want to live, the life that makes us happy. Living out here is hard. No one is denying that. I don't think Sam and I are so naive to think that living out here is going to be easy and going to be straightforward. We come across many challenges, and some of them are the same challenges as those living in the city. But the fact is that this is the hard work that we want to do. This is what makes us happy and sustains us. We can see ourselves doing this in 10 years' time. Living in the city, not so much. Someone did ask us the question of when would we know that we've achieved our goals? Is there such a thing as full sustainability? And our answer to that is honestly, if we were to say that we had an end goal, then that's not being realistic on what sustainability really is. I mean, technology is always evolving, things are always changing, our lifestyles are changing as well. So our goals continue to change with that as well. Ideally, we want to be able to provide our own meat, our own vegetables, our own food, but it's not sustainable to think that we can provide everything for ourselves, and we are being realistic about that. Raising animals and even growing vegetables takes a lot of time, a lot of space, a lot of effort, and it also means that we're having to be at home a lot longer. And it's just going to get harder and harder as we commit to larger animals like pigs and chickens. So we're actually at a crossroads right now trying to figure out what our next step is and whether we want to commit to larger things straight away or take it easy. Every option that we do make has its own consequences. I've delved into trying to make my own beauty products and things like laundry powder and shampoo, but you know what? making those things is not a sustainable thing for me. It takes a lot more money and effort and time, and a lot of the time it doesn't fully work on my hair. So it becomes something that I don't want to be doing. And that's the main goal with sustainability. You want to pick changes in your life that are actually going to remain in your life for longer than just a week, a month, or a year, as I said before. You want to make sure that the changes you make in your life are going to suit it, because if you buy a whole bunch of products which are eco-friendly or sustainable and then you realize in a month's time that they're actually not very functional or practical for your own lifestyle, then you've just wasted a bunch of money, a bunch of your time, and now you've created more waste in the world. So sustainability for each and every one of us is going to be very, very different. And it really is up to us to decide what's sustainable to us, what changes we want to make, and also just realize that any change that we do make in our own life could in future become redundant or need changing again. So you should always be very open-minded and open to change, because sustainability doesn't happen overnight. It can take years, and it may be a goal that just never gets achieved as well. As far as our sustainable journey, we've had a lot of things that we have changed over the years. We started off with simply just changing the way that we shop, going to markets and butchers and supporting local farmers by going to farmers markets as opposed to going to supermarkets. And that was probably one of the big main changes that we made 5 years ago that really started us on our journey. Something else that we did was slowly start to reduce our consumption of plastic. So when we were buying things, we would make sure that they were going to be things that lasted. We even got rid of frying pans that were non-stick, because we researched and we found out that the chemicals that leach out of non-stick fry pans is really bad for your health. Not even just that, but the fact that after a year, they're normally not non-stick anymore is such a waste of your money and also resources. I mean, these frying pans are just having to be replaced every year. While something like cast iron, which we've slowly been transitioning to, yes, it's heavy. Yes, it can be quite expensive to buy, especially if you're buying it new, but it lasts a whole lifetime. You're not having to replace it if you look after it. And the heaviness, just use 2 hands. For us, that's sustainable. For you, if you're not a big cook, if the weight of the product outweighs the benefits of it, then you don't buy it. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. That what is sustainable to us, to Sam and to I, might line up with your goals and your ambitions for your own sustainability, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is the only way to become sustainable and it's the only option. Some things that work for us might not work for you. Our goal for this year ahead is to become more sustainable with our meat consumption. We've already taken some really great steps of buying directly from farmers and buying the whole animal and being able to use every part. We use a whole chicken in many different ways. We use a whole lamb in many different ways. We haven't delved into pigs or cows just yet, just because it's just not accessible to us. We're not in a position financially where we can afford to buy a quarter cow for $500 or like a whole pig for $1,000. Ideally, we want to be raising those types of animals. So we're just heading into autumn and winter currently and starting to plan what we want to do for the next springtime. So in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, we're hoping to get some meat chickens. We've been delving with the idea of getting some pigs. That's been a little bit more inaccessible to us where we are, but it's something that we're continuing to want to do. But as I said before, we're still hoping to travel, and we really enjoy going camping and seeing our friends and being tied down to this property right now by having pigs and chickens and gardens. Having all those animals is a lot for us to do. It's a big chore and a big responsibility to have. And I think we need to be in the right mindset and prepared to be more tied down to our property if that's what we choose to do. So it's still a discussion that we're having, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. But I think that's going to be the next step in our goals and our journey to sustainability, is to be more sustainable with our food. Having animals like cows and pigs and even meat birds is going to be a really great way to take care of the grass and the pasture around us, because there is so so much of it, and those types of animals thrive with that kind of grass because they eat it. It's as simple as that. So it is sustainable in the way that they work with the land and with us and then provide us food in the end. But it also does take that time. So it goes back to our lifestyle and how those types of things fit in. Not everyone wants to look after chickens. Livestock and animals are hard work. They're messy, they're dirty. Not everyone wants to raise their own eggs or meat. But if you want to consume meat, you enjoy having a steak or chicken or anything like that, all that I hope that this encourages you to do is to think about where that meat is coming from. Think about how it's raised. Is it raised on a farm or is it raised in a shed? Really look into the products that you're buying and buy what is easiest for you and your finances, but also is considerate of the animals and the farmers that you're hoping to support. But I'm telling you, I'm getting pretty impatient with not having my own meat. Even if we go and catch our own fish so that we can eliminate the amount of commercial fishing out there. I mean, one person isn't going to be able to completely remove the issue, but one person makes a positive impact on their own lifestyle and hopefully encourages others to do the same. You truly don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to be able to be sustainable in every way. 100% of your food doesn't have to come from your property. As long as you are trying your best to make conscious choices, to figure out what works best for you and what is sustainable and can be maintained throughout your life, then you're already making a really big change for not only you, your family, but also the world around you. I think next time we're going back to wood chips because pulling out weeds, not sustainable. This, to us, is very quickly becoming sustainable, but I understand that for you it might not, and that's okay. I hope that if you take anything away from this, it's just to make more conscious, thoughtful choices in your own life. Don't feel like you have to do everything someone else is doing. Don't feel pressured to buy things that you know don't fit into your own lifestyle. Make choices, make decisions that have a low carbon footprint, that have a low impact on the world, but are also manageable in your own life, because that's the most important thing, that the choices that you're making benefit everyone else around you, but the most important person for them to benefit is you.